Hello again. It is the semifinals. It's a TvT on Abyssal Reef in the bottom right. There's the Red Terran. He is alive.
For now, because he faces off against a deadly opponent in the top left. None other than the Blue Terran INnoVation.
You know...
All right, so bottom side of the bracket is still to be determined, but this is the first of the semifinals for this week's Olimoleague. There's a couple things to talk about, but to let you guys know the players that are currently contending the other side of the bracket in the round of 8, you have Leenock versus Classic, so Zerger Protoss, and then Hurricane and Gumiho. I wish we were actually watching Hurricane and Gumiho, if I'm going to be completely honest. Not because I dislike TvT, but Hurricane's been winning a lot of Olimoleagues and doing well in BTSL, and Gumiho's just an overall badass. That matchup, I would say conventionally, is the finals. So it's a little unfortunate that's happening in the round of 8, and we're missing it. That being said, the winner of that will probably be one of the favorites to go through to the finals from that side of the bracket.
I need to make a tweet, so retweet if you want. But yeah, I mean, it's a...
guess.
First world problem to be able to look at a bracket and say that we wish we cast more in the round of 8 and the round of 16.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's no bad matches, right? Like, we're not there's no complaining here. It's like good and better matches.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you to Bad Rocks for the 3-month resub. Thanks for the good content and awesome stuff you do for StarCraft 2. A shame that I just started with Legacy of the Void. Well, if you had gone through Broodlord and Fester, you wouldn't be saying that. And thank you to Styler1126 for the new sub.
Got in on a good time.
Or the Stormhost era. You know, there hasn't quite been an era like those two in Legacy of the Void yet. I feel like Adepts got close.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, they really, but they weren't as long, I don't think.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? Like, Broodlord and Fester, because it required getting to the late game, not a lot of the casual percentage of the games got to the late game, so I don't think Blizzard perceived it as an overall problem, just an issue in the pro scene. Well, so hear me out, like, because Blizzard's always had this stance where, like, yes, they care about the pro scene, but the pro scene is like 1% compared to like the thousands of other people who play. And I guarantee you, a lot of people in Gold League aren't getting Broodlord and Fester back in the day of Wings and Liberty. They're stuck in the mid tier. And I think what made it so obvious that it needed to be fixed for Legacy of the Void was that Depths were tier 1 units. The problem was evident from the get-go, even at Bronze League.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that. Remember back in Wings of Liberty, Blizzard really had a don't do anything for a long time. And then they reversed their stance to do everything, and then they tried to balance it out more. Like, there has been a huge roller coaster of what Blizzard should and should not be doing, and they have gotten a lot better over the years of being kind of more of a balanced act than they were in the past. So I don't know, but I was like, I could be on board with this. I kind of want to let chat maybe put their thoughts into it, in that the funny thing is about lower leagues is that, well, yes, they're not always going to be able to replicate it, of course, but they're going to try, usually, what is, like, the meta of the pro gamers, so they'll try and go to Broodlord and Fester. The other problem about being lower league is that I feel like a lot more of them do get to super late game. Like, I don't know how many people have had to, like, introduce their friends to StarCraft 2 and watch them play the game. If they're in, like, the training league, or they're in, like, bronze or silver, there might be, like, one random attack of 6 Marines, because, like, I had them, I'm gonna do it. But most of the games, I go to, like, motherships and carriers and max out before I do anything and be super turtly because I don't know what I'm doing. So I feel like there might have been more Broodlord and Fester in the lower leagues, but by the time Broodlord and Fester was really popular, I was
Well, you know the difference
Masters.
is, though, the way you're describing it, though,
yeah,
even if that is the case at lower league, it was literally Broodlord and Infester. Like, that was the army composition.
Yes. No, it definitely was. I mean, whenever you hear anyone who's not a pro gamer complain about whatever the meta is, it's like, their answer could always be just play better. Like, it's rude, you're not gonna actually tell them that, it sucks, but the answer is literally just like, well, I'm sorry, like, you're gold, and if you macroed it better, you would have been able to beat the platinum. It's not because your race is broken. Like, that's what the pro gamer's gonna be worrying about, not you. But no, there are certainly long periods of time. Surprisingly, we've been able to talk about this without having, you know, any interruption with the game, because despite opening both with 1 bases, they have both been kind of passive. So speaking of people being passive, I mean, Raven openers for both parties, 3rd CC on the way for INnoVation, aLive probably going to follow up soon with his own. Pretty funny. TvT, man.
I mean, for both of these guys, it's a game where you're expecting things like lots of auto turret harass and super aggression, but it's TvT, so the nature of it is like that's not really going to happen still for even a little bit of time. I think the big things I look for now in a lot of especially the Korean TvTs, is just primarily like, is it going to be 2 base versus 3 base? Is there going to be this thing where one player is very, very clearly trying to be aggressive and the other's playing more macro or whatever, right?
The builds are changing slightly. I thought that aLive was going to go for his own 3rd CC, but then he transferred over onto he started onto a reactor, that's the word, and is going for Viking control. So, I mean, he might still get a 3rd CC, right? He's going to delay it a little bit, but he has more of an army here to work with that, especially if it get across the map, which it should be able to do. INnoVation doesn't have his own, huge force ready and willing to fight him. If it got across the map and sieged up, INnoVation might have some difficulty defending. He is losing in the Viking War just by starting it a little bit later. Very slight differences. But aLive is getting to that point where it's like, this is more than just delaying to have a superior Viking count. This is delaying so that if you don't do damage, you're in a lot of trouble.
And thank you to Chicken Man for that sub. HKG Chicken Man said, I would sub a Rifkin's face. He did say that earlier, and I was like, gonna give him shit for it, but I did actually end up showing my face today. So that guy is a man with integrity. Thank you for the sub.
The fight does commence, and I said that INnoVation wouldn't be able to meet him halfway, and it's not quite halfway. It is out in the middle of the map, so aLive not able to get that super abusive position that he was looking for, and just gets, well, stomped, really. I mean, they take out over here those Ravens, but aLive needed to do damage with that.
What was interesting, too, is like it was tanks versus non-siege tanks, but INnoVation actually had like an abnormal amount of Cyclones, which ended up working great for that particular engagement.
Yeah. Cyclones, I mean, they start off the fight and you're like, eh, and then at the end of the fight you're like, oh, you're alive, and you killed like 2 tanks. Man, you're great.
Yeah, they're like accidentally great units is like a good way to describe them.
Yeah, for sure. So that is pretty bad. If aLive had been up against this corner and, INnoVation had to go down a choke or like, play the Viking game, aLive's army was better for that specific scenario, but being caught in the concave out like that was brutal. And his command center is not so far behind INnoVation's, to be honest. Like, since it's on location and it's done right now. But he is still down 10 workers, gas is a little bit delayed, big mule drop too. And INnoVation managed to just completely bypass any scouting from aLive and get into his own pretty decent position.
Well, Vikings just kind of police in the sky. Nothing to really oppose them.
This is bad, though.
I was gonna say, lifting might not have been the best option.
Right? He's not, oh god, oh. Okie then. I feel like the SCVs had the Yakety Sax playing. Like they're like, mining? No, repairing. Oh, we're done. Mining? Yes, build a business turret, that's the way to go. They,
Yakety Sax? What's Yakety Sax?
Isn't that the funny song?
Maybe? I'm actually asking. This isn't... I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. Yakety Sax? Yeah. I mean, I might be pronouncing it a little bit wrong, but it's It's the I can't play it, of course. It's copyrighted.
Hum me a tune. I
really don't want to.
What? How bad is it?
Well, how bad am I at humming? Pretty bad.
Okay.
Just look it up, okay? Anyways.
It's hard for me to listen to someone who loves karaoke as much as you do to like say like I don't want to hum.
Okay, well the thing about karaoke is that everyone knows everyone's bad, and that's just a presumption you go off of.
Yeah, like humming. You're like,
I'm in a safe space when I'm in a karaoke room, Rifkin. This is not a safe space. This might be a mistake by aLive, but it was his only hope. Yeah, GG.
GG. INnoVation. What a god.
Yes.
I gotta add Chicken Man to the board and draw a giant chicken who's a man. How do I draw a chicken man? It's like the legend of Goat Man, but with chickens.
Goat Man is not a scary legend. God. Why is it even a thing? This one guy kind of messes with your head sometimes. Like, fucking scary. Anyways.
I forgot it's HKG chicken.
I feel like there's so many horror stories and legends that revolve around my area, too. Like, I should be more scared to live where I live. The Blair Witch Project was around me. Goatman's supposed to be around me. I think there's some other things.
As long as you don't have to worry about Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's a Seattle thing, isn't it? Like up in the northwest.
Bigfoot lives in our hearts, Zombie Grub. I have Bigfoot pajamas that I bought when I was drunk, and I really wish I didn't. Because they look very stupid.
I'm so glad that I can say I've never bought anything when I was drunk.
They're so it's got like a bunch of Bigfoot hiding behind trees on it.
Yeah,
and so it's like I
tweeted.
believe and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did too. That's right. But the thing is, if you just look at them from 5 feet away, it just looks like cow spots or something. Like it doesn't look like Bigfoot.
Of course.
All right, Odyssey gonna be the next map.
Do you know what the Benny Hill theme is?
Yes.
Okay, it's that.
Ah, okay. I've never heard it called Yakety Sax, but
Yeah, that's what it's actually called.
I've always just called it the Benny Hill. This is like there's a song that some of you will know what I'm talking about with this. I think it's called Cobra Style by Teddy Bear or something, or I don't know. But I only know it as like the song that goes dang diggy dang dee dang dang diggy diggy. Yeah. And that's what I always Google search. Like dang, I actually type out the full like dang diggy dang dee dang dang, and it autocompletes. That's the best part. Like enough other people have searched this stupid phrase because they also didn't know the name.
I can never remember the name of the Bloodhound Gang song, but I can always remember like the quote, right? Like,
I almost asked like which one, and I realized the purpose of why you're telling the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Like which song is the name that you can't remember? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Exactly. I'm so upset that's not in karaoke. At this point in time, I can confidently say that it just doesn't exist at karaoke, period. Not some karaoke bars, not some countries' karaoke bars, just not in karaoke at all. And it makes me so sad. What the hell?
There's I don't listen to a lot of music, but there's this one song out there, "Jealous of Your Cigarette" by the Hawksley Workman. If anyone's ever heard that one, that's one I wish we could karaoke. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into another game. Still here for the Olimoleague, and quick note that if you guys want some of these awesome replay packs or check out some of the other cool benefits of the Olimoleague, this is a fan-funded tournament. It has been for over a year at this point. So check out the Patreon for Olimoleague. If she's lurking in chat, ask her some questions. She might be able to answer, and hopefully we can keep making this awesome tournament happen every single week. But kicking it off down here in the bottom right, he is up 1 game at the moment. It's the Red Terran player, INnoVation.
In the top left is the Blue Terran. He is alive. You get a Shallow Mandrisa for the $15. BaseTradeTV fighting.
We're not fighting.
I was fighting
we were
some guy in
earlier
chat
about
real
Mr.
quick.
Rogers, but
Was that fighting? I just felt bad about. Just felt bad about
I've been trying to draw a chicken, by the way, this whole game, and I cannot draw a fucking chicken. This is worse than the bicycle.
Can you really not draw like even like a you know like a funny like I know this is bad, but you can at least recognize as a symbol of a chicken, like a hieroglyphic chicken?
No, look. Okay, stream can't see this, but you can. It looks like a fucking eagle or something.
Oh, I was looking at the what? No, show me that again. What is that? What the fuck? No, move it over. Wait, why is it like a seagull? It's like.
Look, I'm saying I can't draw a chicken. Apparently,
what is it even supposed to be? Look, okay, draw a circle and then put like 2 triangles for its beak, and then like make it even a rooster, and then it's even like easier to tell.
Roosters have the little gobble gobble thing on top or bottom.
On top, gobble gobble is turkey. Chicken man, we got the turkey man. It's so. Oh god. Well, you know, this is only fair. I mean, I went to art school, so
Yeah,
I know these things. I know these things and other people don't. It's what I learned. Okay, 1 base or 2 base openers. Here, I mean, last game they both went 1 base, but there was like little to no aggression. Usually there's at least poking and prodding, but okay, when you started laughing, it really sounded like a chicken.
It's my chicken man. Can you show the stream? Can you put my camera up for like a second?
It is worse. It's worse than like the chicken with arms thing that people do, like those gifs. Like, it is just so bad. Why is his leg so muscular? He has baby Michelin man legs.
Are you showing the stream?
I did.
Shout out to HGK Chicken Man.
What do you think people's legs look like?
Would you prefer I gave him like high heels?
Wouldn't it have been easier to draw a face with like a chicken body?
Fine, I'll fucking fix it. You're casting him. I'm memeing.
Oh my god. Okay, well, nothing's happening in this game anyways, again. But it makes more sense because they both opened up one base expand. One Rex expand. Oh god. Should have done this years ago. But now, I guess, moving out just to take care of whatever is at the front. And aLive went for a Hellion, and unfortunately, Hellion can't really live up to Cyclones. But Medevac drop is going to mix things up. Now, INnoVation is playing defensively, so he has a Viking, and he's going to have even 3 Cyclones once again. That ended up helping him last game, and can certainly help against drops. They can't target fire the Medevac very well, of course, but dealing with Marines is no problem for them. And I think INnoVation has enough to deal with both attacks simultaneously. Again, they both opened up, you know, one racks expand, so there really shouldn't be any leads here. It takes care of the Cyclone real quick, like Viking finds the Medevac preemptively. Its boost was, oh, there we go, use it to get out, but it wasn't being controlled for a second or two, and that's a lot of damage on it, and aLive just ultimately failed with his opener. You know, what he went for, the Medevac, he could have instead gone for an additional Cyclone, and that would have been a much easier defense, but just with a single tank and a Viking, if INnoVation just switched a little bit, he could have probably killed this, but maybe not with the Marines. Yeah, I think with the Marines protecting it, he really had to focus fire the tank. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't play enough with Cyclones, clearly. Okay, has to pull the SCVs to stop the Cyclones going on top of the tank, and he does hold. Loses 5 SCVs, which isn't too devastating, but recall that there are such even numbers beforehand. Being down 6 workers is, 5 workers is maybe a big deal. And once again, behind a 3rd CC.
Why do so many people chicken emotes? Or chicken-related emotes? Okay, I have now given, and I will say granted, no, blessed the chicken with sexy stockings and high heels. So this is a...
That's so weird. You should have gone to fishnet stockings. Oh, God.
Well, I'm back in the game, so there was an attack that happened, huh? I missed it entirely.
Yes, you did miss it.
Although, I do, even though I did miss it, straight up, I'm looking at the units lost, and once again, INnoVation going like really heavy on the Cyclones. He did this last time too. I'm wondering if this really is like if you guys didn't really follow the pathing of it, INnoVation is pretty much like the one. Him and Beyond made the double Raven popular in TvT. And they were the only ones doing it for a while. And I'm wondering if this is some sort of weird get around the meta thing, and now maybe a couple of Cyclones will be the next big thing to do.
INnoVation has experimented before with, like, breakable sets of units. I don't know. Sure, that's what I'll call it. Like, just units that can break someone who isn't expecting the attack. Like, he'll build 2 Ravens and then push with whatever else he has with it, right? Because the auto turrets can do a lot of damage. He'll build 3 Cyclones and push with it because 3 Cyclones can tear down almost anything in the early game. But they're not usually truly fearsome. Like, really, when you look at the armies in the hands of a normal person, you're like, what can it really do? And then suddenly it almost busts down a tank line. So the fact that he's gone between, like, Ravens and Cyclones doesn't surprise me too much. But he, he was certainly on top of the Ravens for a very long time, and now it's aLive trying to do it, and it's not, it didn't work out last game, at least. This game, he just went much faster than the tanks. And INnoVation took that lead. He still has that lead. Have quite a few workers. Down in army supply, however, is going to be very cautious about how he handles this. He's about to have 1-1, and he already has stim, but no combat shields. Hopefully he remembers to grab that. Yeah, aLive sieges up so far away, and this isn't scary yet. He is 2 base all winning, 5 racks here.
Yep. definitive difference between the two. And it's one of those things where INnoVation can hold this first attack. It'll come out so much further ahead for it. And that's the nice thing about TvT. You can actually do that at a supply deficit. It's got a couple of upgrades. Maybe that'll make a difference. I don't know. Really, I don't think it'll be too big of a factor. But it's worth noting that aLive is about to have combat shields, and INnoVation won't. And that is an upgrade worth noting.
Yeah, I think INnoVation just forgot it. I think you want to get that before 2-2, and still he has like enough minerals and gas to get it. So it seems like just a simple case of forgetting, and that's like, that sometimes isn't a big deal. Like if you're both going for 3 CCs, you're both still posturing, but because aLive is being very aggressive, it is a big deal. Yeah,
because it's specifically an all-in meant to kill and not trade, not to get an advantage. Like aLive wants to win the game with this. He doesn't want to just simply poke and prod. So that upgrade's a world of difference, and of course, it means like a whole free stim that INnoVation doesn't have for himself.
Oh, this is
He's
gonna
gonna slaughter the Marines. This is gonna be so one-sided.
Now there's 5 tanks, but the concave's too good.
Yeah, like I said, very one-sided. Third base gonna get shut down. Sensor tower dies. I mean, INnoVation might hold the ramp, but he's gonna lose the command center or the SCVs in the process.
He realizes it now. Oh, he got so much stuff. There was definitely forgetting. Like 2-2-1 is on the way. A second factory's on the way, and then he got combat shields.
They just dives in to pick off that tank. Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's what's crazy. Like the combat shields upgrade is that big of a deal that it wasn't like aLive had almost no tank presence in both of those engagements, and INnoVation did. It was the combat shields that really broke them.
Not too often you see, especially INnoVation, but just programmer Terrans in general, forget combat shields for so long. Like certainly there's a bit of delay between stim and combat shields, fine, like you give that to anyone, but such a big delay? INnoVation must be having an off day. GG.
It's the difference of a 2-0 versus 1-1, and aLive will tie it up.
It really is. He would have held that and then some.
You can now admire.
Can I like zoom up on this? Hold on, I gotta find it.
I can zoom up on it.
Like, dear God.
This is
Is it wearing lipstick? Is that what it's doing?
Hey, you ready for this? Okay, you see how the board's sitting down?
Yes.
I'm about to pick up this hot chick.
I wouldn't call that hot by any means. We're gonna be going into Proxima next. It looks like. First, a quick break. Oh God. Hello again. It is Proxima Station. Game number 3. In the bottom left is the Red Terran. He is INnoVation.
And his opponent in the upper right, none other than the blue Terran player aLive.
Well then. I can pretty confidently say that if INnoVation had combat shields, he would have won that game. I really feel like he would have.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the 3 base versus 2 base difference didn't matter to me as much as that upgrade difference did. And the thing about Terran is, and I guess this is more for those who don't find themselves playing this god-awful matchup, right? Tanks look so good, and they hit so hard, and they hit from so far away, and they got splash damage, and there's like a million great things about them. But at the end of the day, you do need that line of fodder in front of them. And if your Marines are dead because they're missing 10 health, then you stim on top of it. I don't know what's up with this. This is risky, to say the least. I just feel like, yeah, combat shields was the game, the end.
Yeah. It was a little bit also that, like, about 15 army supply was still being brought forward. But, yeah, combat shields was the biggest thing. So, I'm sure INnoVation's kicking himself over it, but you gotta just forget it and go on to game number 3.
Yo, people in chat are saying we should make the chicken a t-shirt. I'm not opposed to that
2
idea.
people.
One of which is Tempo, who's worth like 10 people.
Is he?
Yes.
Yes,
and
he
you know
is.
what?
You're right.
He's also got like... you know what? No, I'm not going to get into that. We'll get in trouble on stream.
I don't want to know what you're going to get into.
I love you, Tempo.
So, INnoVation did go for a gas first. So I'm surprised still see that he went for a barracks expand. Unfortunately, I mean, the gas first, you know, he still has a faster factory, and, you know, he's probably just going to get a bit faster on the aggression and be aggressive in general, especially since he'll see that it's a command center first soon enough with this Reaper. But if he had gone for a 1 base really dedicated, that's when I'm like a little worried for aLive's lack of production. Because it's not so dedicated, I think INnoVation might just take a straight up, you know, build order loss here. Not like literally lose the game, but just be a little behind. Command Center first is can give you quite a boost. And Proxima Station would be the map that you get away with it on.
You got a lot of retweets on your tweet about the semifinals, by the way.
I know. I'm super special.
Well, one of which is from Jane. I don't know if Jane's watching, but just shout out. I had a lot of fun last night. Thanks for the game.
Oh.
Hey, Lycan, thank you for the 32-month resub, brother.
Well, aLive opens up with a Hellion. INnoVation goes for Ravens. And to make up for the little bit of a delayed Command Center, it goes for a much faster third CC. So actually really very, very limited aggression, just the auto turret harassment. And the game goes on. I don't think INnoVation is going to be... I think you'd be salty about forgetting combat shields just because you are INnoVation and you don't make that mistake. That Marine didn't deserve to live because it took damage.
This is a blood splat. That's all that's left of him. Oh my god. What are they going to tell his family?
INnoVation's super harsh. I bet it got blamed for the combat shields thing. Like, what is it like? The higher ups always blame like the really, really low people like in that 30 Rock episode. So you're the reason you get combat shields. Anyway. But you were kind of winning the last two games anyways. Obviously, you won the first game pretty easily, too. And in the second game, I still feel like he was winning. So you gotta go to the third game still feeling kind of confident. Just that one little mess up, and don't do that again, and you should be fine.
Chicken Man asking what's the best way to donate. Just be aware, dude, because any donations on the channel are going towards the Mega Tournament fundraiser, which 47 is. Thank you very much for linking to them. If you guys want to support myself or Zombie, we of course have our personal PayPals, but above all else, we really encourage cheering. It's really fun, and I really like it. And yeah, guys, Twitch gets some of the cut. Big fucking deal. Big whoop. I have a lot of fun with cheering, so I'm okay with cheers in chat.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh boy. Third TC already being lifted on to location. aLive still finishing his up into an orbital, I think. Yeah. That is natural, too. Oh, it's gonna take forever. A little behind on the 1-1, but very close. Stim is definitely in favor of INnoVation. And looks like he's going for a bit of Viking control as well. Going up to 4 Vikings. INnoVation has a supply lead here, but aLive gets into a nice position. He can probably hold it for a minute. This is too many Marines. Why are there so many Marines going out to scout? Now they're gonna die too. Well, it seems really funny just to like really remark on 4 Marines, but that was most of his fodder for the tanks. And the Vikings aren't in position to help. But aLive's not gonna do it.
Viking escort and 2 Ravens, though. That could actually kill. He's got to be careful. If aLive's army gets caught, auto turrets will kill all this.
That's funny. You're right. But I was going to look and say, like, aLive also could have killed INnoVation's front army with the Vikings and Ravens being filled out of position. But he didn't know that, so he didn't go for it. That would have been 2 tanks killed, I think, for maybe the loss of only 1 of aLive's. But that is a huge hit squad. Gets 4 SCVs, 6 SCVs right off the bat. More going down in the natural. It's going to try and catch them on the retreat, on the pull away. 9 SCVs.
Doing a lot of damage.
10 SCVs
like,
and a Viking.
Almost kills one of the Cyclones. A couple of the Vikings died on the way out. Marines died through that. I mean, INnoVation got value out of this attack. Because he gets out of here pretty much unscathed.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the third base, too.
It would have been greedy.
Would have been fine. There's barely any anti-air. There's really no anti-air.
There's tanks there, though. I don't know.
Well, they weren't there to begin with. And now they're leaving again. Oh, I can't decide. There's actually not enough to spread around here. And even leaving a tank is dangerous, because while it deals with an auto turret in the mineral line for sure, it doesn't deal with an auto turret in its face. So Marines, little tiny Marine hit squad's gotta take care of everything. Could even throw down a point defense drone if you wanted to save None of the units get really low. 2-2 on the way, combat shields, +1. I mean, they're both still macroing very well behind this, but aLive obviously taking the damage, whereas INnoVation is just kind of laughing his way around aLive's base. It seems kind of mean. But it's what works out when you have the Viking squad.
Oh man, I said retweet if you want this to be on a shirt. We're at 3 retweets so far.
Whoa.
This
3
chicken
people,
shirt,
man.
so close to being a reality.
Oh, God. I hope in like 100 years, they'll look at your painting and be like, this is a beautiful work of art.
Oh, it's a painting now. It's like been upgraded. My penmanship is being compared to that of the Mona Lisa. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, your doodle has been upgraded to a painting. It's that beautiful.
I wouldn't call it a doodle. It's like a little bit more than a doodle.
A sketch? It's not a sketch either. What's between
Drawing.
a sketch and a doodle?
It's a drawing.
A skadoodle. Okay. Drawing's just a stupid word. 2 medevacs actually getting in here, almost free. It does find that one tank that has been sieged up since the auto turret harassment, so it gets right on top of it too. Cyclone off to the right side can't help out too much, but there looks to be enough Marines, and in fact, Toker fires the medevacs.
Well, actually, so targeting fire of the medevac's a little bit questionable there because it actually took away a lot of damage from him, so INnoVation got to kill a lot more for it.
Yeah. aLive, you know, it's funny. He wasn't banking a lot during the Raven harassment, but I guess still because of it, maybe he was late on his bear or something like that. He started to bank quite a lot. Still at 500, not able to quite use it all up. That is directly influencing his supply, but also the 10 SCV losses earlier is not working out so well for him either. INnoVation's going to have quite the stranglehold on his third base. He's got still the Viking air control for sure. A couple auto turrets to help break it if he thought that was possible. I don't even know what aLive does at this point. Just let his SCVs die and try and get maxed. Oh no, I know what he's gonna do. That's a doom drop. No, it's not. There were 4 medevacs, but only 2 of them were filled. He scans along the path that would be a doom drop on the way. That's super cool. As I said, it's only 2 medevacs, so not quite a doom drop.
Well, I guess actually if it ends the game, it would still be a doom drop.
Well,
This is like where you use the Ace OMG emote. You're like, oh my god, you're right.
I feel like you don't call like a small little military invasion of like 2 platoons like a doom invasion, but if it ends up, you know, taking over Germany, then that's what's gonna happen. That wasn't based on anything historical, by the way. That was literally just an example. Before everyone starts calling our, you know, very historical knowledge out in question.
Well, if there's one thing we do better than drawing chickens, it's knowing the history and geography of Europe.
I know, right? Exactly. Didn't Germany get conquered first in World War II?
Just stop.
No. Anyways, I don't know if it's called a doom drop, but either way, it was cleaned up very, very easily. We have more reinforcements coming in here, and aLive was just backed into a corner, literally.
Yeah. 800 bits coming in.
If I was to guess how to phonetically spell balk, I would not have gone for that one.
I feel like BOK is pretty simplified though. Like,
I mean, it's perfect. I just wouldn't have thought of it. I would have gone with like a bork or something. Bork?
we're kind of like, you got some deep ass chickens on hormones. Like,
Well, I was thinking of like the Cadbury egg lion in that commercial. You know what? Anyways, the game's gonna be over soon. aLive had really no hope after being contained. GG.
Yeah. With the CC being yielded and the numbers being what they were, INnoVation very, very clearly takes that. And we'll move on to the finals. So congratulations to him. But we actually have a really cool setup now. It's going to be Classic versus Gumiho in the other semifinals. So it's going to be a PvT over there. Also, big thank you to HKG Chicken Man. He doing $15 in the Mega Tournament fundraiser. That's fucking awesome, dude. And of course, thank you very much to Bacon Hero for the bits. I'm assuming that makes him the bit boss.
It does.
Nice.
He still has Rifkin drop as his portrait.
Fuck!
I
Take us
know.
commercials. I don't want to see this.
Gotta take
Get
the
us
good
outta
with the
here.
bad with the good.
Get us out of here!
See you soon.